everyone, and welcome to Bio 101. In today's episode, we will be talking to you about the consequences of creating designer babies and why we DNA don't need alterations. A designer baby is created when scientists and doctors rearrange a person's DNA to identify the cause of certain genetic mutations and research them. To start off, though, let's take a quick review on what DNA is and its function in the human genome. DNA is simply an abbreviation for deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a set of instructions that make us who we are. DNA controls all of our physical traits, which means it determines our eye color, our hair color, and how tall we are. In the human body, the DNA is kept inside of structures called chromosomes. Every living being has 23 pairs of chromosomes. When two people decide they want to have a child, the chromosomes split in half and combine together to make their own 23 pairs of chromosomes. For a long time, the human DNA was a big mystery. No one knew if it had a certain structure and what it was composed of. In 1962, two scientists by the name of James Watson and Francis Crick were awarded for the discovery of the structure of DNA, even though they had help from a fellow scientist named Rosalind Franklin. These scientists discovered that DNA is structured in the shape of a double helix. The discovery of this structure led furthermore into the discovery of what DNA was composed of. Through extensive investigation and experimentation, scientists uncovered that DNA is composed of 4 different acids: A, G, C, and T. A stands for adenine, G stands for guanine, C stands for cytosine, and T stands for thymine. Using this knowledge, in October of 1990, a collective group of scientists created the Human Genome Project. Their goal was to collect and sequence the human genome, which is a person's DNA. Why do this, may you ask? Sequencing the DNA would help scientists understand how and why genetic mutations could occur. These scientists, from the discovery of these 4 acids, started to think to themselves that if the order of the acids is what causes the mutations, why not just change the order of them? This idea of changing and altering the genetic sequence in turn led to the idea of creating designer babies. Altering the human genome can only occur in the zygote stage before the baby has developed its traits. Any alterations can only happen then because the cells are still very impressionable and are able to handle any new changes to them. This is where the term designer baby comes from. The concept of designer babies has the potential of opening a box full of controversial ethical questions, legal dilemmas, and societal problems. One would be the ethical concern within the religious community. Many of the members of this community would question whether or not humans have the right to alter an original masterpiece created by God. Most likely, these members would answer this question by saying no. Humans do not have this right. A second would be a societal problem that could arise in the elimination of an unfavorable race. This was attempted by a man named Adolf Hitler during World War II, who wanted to eliminate anyone who was of the Jewish religion. This attempt created many riots and later on deaths. Another attempt like that would create many protests from the people of the unfavorable race. Our world could fall into war, creating a World War III. A third problem would occur with the altered child. When finally being told that his or her DNA had to be altered in order for them to achieve a perfect state, the child may feel that how they were originally born was not good enough for their parents and society. This could lower their self-esteem severely and send them into a deep state of depression. Now that's all for now, everyone. And this was how and why creating designer babies is a bad idea and why we DNA don't need alterations.